What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another reaction video as Arsenal beat Olympiacos 2-0 in the Champions League, first home game of the Champions League group stage. I am in the car again, people. The last few times after we've played, I've been on the move and had to go in the car and do the videos. We're back to the old school. I kind of like going in the car, maybe back to basics. But, you want all this fancy software in the house, but sometimes just get in the car and record on your phone. Do you know what I mean? Let's talk about the game briefly today, people. Bit of a tale of two halves, really. I thought first half we actually played well, created a lot of chances. We should have scored a few more goals. I thought Odegaard was very good today. His creativity was back. Some quality through balls to Gyökeres, and Odegaard got man of the match tonight, actually, by UEFA, which I agree with. Lewis Skelly as well, for me, I thought had a really good game today. I think that's the kind of performance where you say, should it be Skelly or Calafiori at left back? Skelly is naturally a midfielder, so very comfortable on the ball. Calafiori is sort of this marauding fullback that seems to have license to go everywhere. I thought David Raya made a couple of fantastic reaction saves. That one where he tipped it over with his left hand. Reactions are absolutely unbelievable. I think he's becoming one of the best goalkeepers in Europe at the moment. I mean, I still think maybe the likes of Courtois, Alisson, Donnarumma are at the top of the tree, but I think he's definitely getting into that sort of, he's in that bracket below and trying to push into that top bracket with the amount of clean sheets that he's kept at Arsenal. We obviously made a few changes. Did they help us? I mean, I thought a lot of the changes disrupted us. Ben White looked a little bit rusty today, which is understandable. He's been out injured for a little bit since last season, been struggling with his fitness, but good for him to get minutes under his belt. As I say, I thought Lewis Skelly played really well. Marino in midfield, for me, I've said it time and time again, it just doesn't work. Not in an Arsenal shirt. Looks really good when he plays there for Spain, but when he plays there for Arsenal, I just struggle to see what he offers for the team. He slows the game down. He doesn't do that box crashing that people all said when we signed him. And he ended up coming off before the hour mark. Zubimendi as well, people. I'm going to be honest. Zubimendi at the moment, I think we all know Zubimendi's a very talented player. We've seen it for Spain and Sociedad, but again, booked again tonight, caught out defensively. Some of his passing at times was a little bit wayward. I genuinely asked the question, are we better off swapping him and Rice and putting Rice into the 6 to protect and allowing Zubimendi to get forward and be a little bit more creative? That's something I wouldn't mind seeing, but still not fully there yet. And tonight isn't as physical a game as the Premier League. So I expected a real top Zubimendi performance tonight. I'm still a little bit underwhelmed by what I'm seeing from him. As I said, I thought Martin Odegaard was back to his best tonight. We now need to see that flowing into the Premier League. I think that performance tonight probably means Eze, if he is back in this Arsenal team at the weekend, will be out wide moving forward, because we know that Odegaard is a massive favourite of the manager, and he played well tonight, really well. And he did well against Newcastle when he came on. In terms of the wingers, again, I mean, some people say, look, Martinelli scored, which he did, which is great. But I didn't think he played well tonight. He just doesn't have the awareness. He doesn't, he seems to lack at times game intelligence. He could have given Gyökeres a clear one-on-one, and instead he's running with his head down, trying to knock it past the defender from far away, and the defender just took it off him, and you think, that's a 2-on-1 situation. How have we not ended up getting a shot out of that situation? So, very frustrating player, Martinelli. And Trossard tonight, I mean, Trossard could have scored 2 or 3 goals tonight. You get the feeling that if Trossard had those chances off the bench, he might have scored a couple of them, but starting the game, Trossard is not the answer. And Martinelli to our left wing situation, whether that ends up with Eze playing on the left wing, or we still need to go into the market potentially and buy a left winger, because I'm still not fully convinced that that left-hand side is fixed. I don't think Martinelli or Trossard lead you to the title or the Champions League, or unless one of them steps their game up. It's interesting that Saka went to the left, for about the last 5 or 10 minutes and looked good on the left, and scored his goal from the left-hand side. So, I'm asking different questions now. Could we go Saka and then somebody else on the right, whether that was Ethan Nwaneri or Madueke when he's fit or whoever? I don't know. As for Victor Gyökeres, it was an interesting night for Gyökeres. I think by the end of the game tonight, he will be frustrated that he hasn't scored, and he probably should have scored tonight. And he is getting a little bit of criticism, saying he's got to take those chances. And I know I've been very much a defender of Victor Gyökeres, and I'm still going to continue to defend him. I think his performances are improving. Now, I know people saying in the chat today, you wouldn't have defended Nketiah or Havertz if they were doing that. Listen, these guys had multiple years at the club, loads of performances in the Prem to get used to the league. This guy hasn't played 10 games for Arsenal yet in League and Cup. He does need time to settle. Now, he snatched at a few things tonight where I think he just needs to relax a little bit and have a little bit more composure. But listen, that goal that Martinelli scored, that to me was the first real moment where you thought that is the Sporting Lisbon, beast of a striker. He outpaces the first guy, shrugs the next guy to the floor, has the shot, goalkeeper tips it onto the post, Martinelli scores from a yard out. So, yeah, I am sitting here again saying, believe in Gyökeres, be patient with him. I believe the goals are going to turn up. He needs a goal at the weekend. West Ham at home. In a week where you've got Olympiacos at home and West Ham at home, you would be hoping you get maybe a couple of goals out of those games. Let's hope those goals come against West Ham this weekend. Yeah, we do need the goals. That's why we signed him. But I believe they're on their way. Listen, if we're sitting here in 30 games' time, yeah, panic. But at the moment, I'm still saying that he will be successful for us. I hope he is. Timber came on, played really well. I'll be honest, when I saw Timber coming on, I thought, no, Mikel, give him a night off. But obviously there must have been a plan for Ben White to just play 60 minutes. Gabriel came off with a little knock on his shoulder. The manager said nothing to worry about. And then Eze came on. He was quiet, to be honest, Eze. And Saka obviously got his goal. Another lovely little pass from Martin Odegaard. Listen, there was a 20, 30-minute spell in that second half where we were flat. We didn't create a lot. Odegaard missed a big chance, double save, or I think the defender blocked the second one. Apart from that, we didn't create that much, and it was a little bit in the balance at 1-0. You'd like to see us finish them off earlier and get that game over with. But cup football is a little bit different to the league, and we're sitting here with 2 wins, 4 goals scored, no goals conceded. We would take that. Yeah, maybe we're going to have to go up a level. We got Atletico Madrid in the next game. I think with them got Slavia Prague, then we've got Bayern Munich. So Atletico and Bayern Munich is going to require another level of performance. But in a night where Man City have drawn with Monaco, Barcelona have lost at home to PSG after being 1-0 up, Liverpool losing to Galatasaray last night, I think the main thing is to put points on the board and to try and get ourselves qualified as early as possible. So for me, good result, performance. Yeah, there was times where it was very flat, but ultimately in games, when you take chances, you kill games off and you stop any momentum from the opposition. Arsenal should have been 2 or 3-0 up at half time. So I can't blame Arteta for the team missing chances. I can ask, okay, why were we so flat for the large part of the second half? And, they had a penalty appeal for handball, Olympiacos, a couple of big saves from Rayo. So we do have to learn to finish those games off quicker, especially when we're playing teams like Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. But, it's a win, 2 goals, clean sheet, 3 points in the bag, and we move to West Ham at the weekend. Hit the like video and subscribe, people. Bless.